and welcome to The Update. I'm Michelle Stevenson. The coronavirus cluster in Melbourne's north has risen to 9, prompting restrictions in the city to be tightened. Another 4 people tested positive to COVID-19. They're all family contacts of a man in his 60s whose infection was announced this morning. The state's Chief Health Officer Brett Sutton insisting the cluster isn't out of control.
They're still only across 3 households. The places where transmission occurs are these private gatherings or these indoor settings where people have prolonged close contact. That doesn't necessarily require a lockdown.
Meantime, restrictions are back in place with home gatherings in Melbourne limited to 5 visitors per day, public gatherings restricted to 30 and masks mandatory in most indoor settings. While New Zealand has hit the pause button on the travel bubble with Victoria for the next 3 days. Genomic sequencing has also identified close links to the man who became infected in hotel quarantine in Adelaide. Well, almost 3.7 million doses of the COVID vaccine have been administered, with 77,500 over the past 24 hours. Doctors say the rollout is still progressing, too slowly though. Federal Health Minister Greg Hunt says today's turn of events though shows that people really need to get the vaccine.
Right now, we're fighting an outbreak in Melbourne's northern suburbs, but the best thing anybody can do is if you're eligible for vaccination now, come forward.
40 sexual harassment complaints have been examined by the Federal Police after a special hotline was set up for parliamentary workers. The complaints have emerged in the wake of the Brittany Higgins rape allegations, with almost half allegedly involving federal MPs and staff members. The PM, meantime, has ruled out an early election, telling colleagues will go to the polls next year. There had been speculation Scott Morrison would seek to go early, but that has been put to rest. And it's believed an explosion and fire at a power station in central Queensland was behind earlier widespread outages right across the state. Taking a look at sport, and the Western Bulldogs are in quarantine after a staff member visited the shopping centre at the centre of the COVID outbreak, and the NRL has confirmed the Origin opener will still be played in Melbourne. That's despite the COVID restrictions. In your entertainment news, and Kim Kardashian is being sued by her cleaners. The star facing claims she failed to pay wages and didn't provide proper meal breaks to her maintenance and cleaning staff. Taylor Swift is about to add to her already impressive list of awards. The singer to be honoured with a Songwriter Icon Award from officials at the National Music Publishers Association. And Halsey, Ed Sheeran, Khalid and Benny Blanco are facing legal action for a copyright breach. 2 aspiring artists claiming that the stars' 2018 collab Eastside is nearly identical to the tune they wrote 3 years earlier called Loveless. And that is the latest from the Nova Podcast News team. We'll see you tomorrow morning for another episode of The Update.